So the Kashmiri Pandits have always had an issue with how their whole crisis has been handled. Now they became refugees primarily in 1989. It was in December 1989 when the big genocide took place. There were announcements on newspapers, they were on television screens asking them to leave Kashmir. The Chief Minister then, Farooq Abdullah, the Home Minister then, Mr. Mufti, sat quietly listening, not really heeding to the issues. The Indian Army helped pull the Kashmiri Pandits out, but they feel a lot of injustice was them. They should have been kept behind. The place should have been made safe for them. They were over in the Janata Dal. There were many ministers of the present BJP who were in power. They could have made them stay and not leave. But there were compulsions. People wanted that the place is cleansed so that the Indian Army could clean out the terrorists. But that was 1989. Since then, many governments have been formed. A lot of things have happened. But the Kashmiri Pandits say they have not been provided justice. I'm here to talk about the issue. Today they've had a press conference in New Delhi. This is January 2020. And they're here to ask the BJP government that you've been in power now for 6 years. You've been giving excuses all these years that you will take them back. You will get them back to their homes. But you haven't done it. Why? And tell me, sir, about what really has happened here.
See, the BJP government, NDA government, past 12 years of the regime, they had always the election manifesto that the return of Kashmiri Pandits and the economical rehabilitation of the Kashmiri Pandits is a priority for them. And the same has been ranting by the RSS chiefs also. But the worst came up. The past 5 years, they have not talked about it. They have not done anything because there is always the excuse, even though they were in the coalition partners with the PDP. They had an excuse that the people of the Kashmir, they are not supporting to rehabilitate the Kashmiri Pandits. But recently, after the abrogation of Article 370, now it's a direct control of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the central government. Recently, the visit of the various ministers to the Narendra Modi's Prime Minister's outreach program. So many ministers reached out to Jammu and Kashmir, but they never thought of to visit to the refugee camps. They never visited Indo. The foreign minister, Manmohan Singh, had a courtesy to visit these refugees, but they never reached out to these refugees.
You have spoken to a lot of the separatist leaders and you have reached out to all communities within Kashmir, and you've talked about how you should be brought back, how you should be allowed to come back to Kashmir. What has their reaction been?
See, because they were talking up to us, the reason for reaching out to the separatists was they had been talking to us that the people of Kashmir is not ready to accommodate you back. We reached out to the separatists, we reached out to the religious leaders, we reached out to the civil society people. They said we have no problem. The government is not taking up the initiative, and we will make sure that we'll put up every penny from the masjids or from the civil society to make the Kashmiri Pandit to rehabilitate, because it's a matter of the justice, it's a humanity matter.
Hang on. You know what? This would be a surprising thing for a lot of people.
Yes.
I go out and meet people. When I'm speaking to people, they're saying, "What? Nothing's been happened to the Kashmiri Pandits. They're not like the Muslims want to throw them out." But now you are saying that the Muslims are ready to bring you back in.
Of course, it was an official statement from the Kashmir many times. In fact, the religious leaders has announced it on 17th of July. Forward that openly, Mirwais has said it. The government has failed to. It's a matter of the humanity. It's a matter of justice. We will fight for the Kashmiri Pandits. We will make sure that you are rehabilitated.
So why isn't the BJP government not putting you back in there? What's the problem?
Again, it's a political agenda. That's very clear that its intention is not there. Just you can imagine recently the whole lot of ministers are visiting. 80,000 crore package is being given to the Jammu and Kashmir. That's my home. It's a very welcome step. But what's a package for the rehabilitation of the Kashmiri Pandits? What's the development package for the Kashmiri Pandits? It's not there. They didn't have the courtesy to visit to over there. In fact, contrary to that, our beloved Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, is also from the Member Parliament from the Jammu and Kashmir. He had never visited to the camps. Contrary to that, he said officially in the statement, the way Kashmiri Pandits had come from Kashmir, they will go back. We are surprised and in a state of shock. What does it mean? Are he talking about that they will get us killed?
This is a huge challenge. Sometimes a lot of the people believe that the government is working for the people. They're fighting for the Kashmiri Pandits. But the Kashmiri Pandits themselves are saying that the government doesn't really want them to go back. They want a political issue to continue to simmer. because more the tension between the two communities, the more it gets exasperated and possibly adds to their vote bank. That's their perspective on it. So the BJP government has to come out clean and say, we are taking those steps. We are going to make sure that they will fund the refugees properly so that they have the resources to live a decent life. And beyond that, they will take them back to Kashmir. Recently, you mentioned also earlier
I
that
want to add on this. See, contrary to that, we are thankful to Balasaheb Thackeray ji. We are thankful to then at the time he wept, cried, my Indians are on the roadside. He ensured that the students, the Kashmiri Pandits children should get the education because we are not getting admission in the schools and colleges. Sharad Pawar ji. You can talk about the Indra Kumar Gujral ji. He said that every penny of the coffers of the Indian coffers will be made sure that we get Kashmiri Pandits rehabilitated. You talk about the TRS member parliament, Kavita ji. You talk about Amar Singh ji, who said openly that I am ready to give the land in the Noida. You come over and get rehabilitated. But unfortunately, you look into Mr. Mohan Bhagwat ji. He has not spoken once. He had never had a courtesy to visit over there. They're preaching Hindutva. They're talking about the patriotism. What kind of patriotism it's all about?
the Bharatiya Janata Party has recently rehabilitated some people from West Pakistan in Jammu. Explain to me what has happened and what do you guys feel about it?
Absolutely. Again, we are feeling the cheated about it. See,
Tell me what has happened.
Recently, before the elections of 2017, the Bharatiya Janata Party gave the citizenship to the West Pakistan refugees in Jammu and Kashmir. They gave them the 5 lakh rupees and another 4,000 square yard plots to them. What about their concern about the people of the Pakistan, Myanmar or other people? What about the people who are the original Aborigines of the Kashmir? They are not talking about them and they are ignoring time and again they are ignoring. But only for the election manifesto they keep Kashmiri Pandits in mind.
No, it's a lot of double speak the Kashmiri Pandits feel. They've been left out, they've been cheated and they need justice. So I think the BJP government has to come clean and go to the Kashmiri Pandit refugees, help them rehabilitate back into Kashmir and, start the chapter ahead. They can't continue just keeping an old issue simmering so that election on election they can use it. What is, from your perspective, what is the game plan? What would be the best way for you to go back into Kashmir?
From your perspective, I just want to add on. If Bharatiya Janata Party earlier they had the excuse. The state government is not doing anything. Right now, it's a direct control of MHA. In 1995, NHRC has given the full verdict judgment that there is an ethnic cleansing of the Kashmiri Pandit community. Now, since they are in the power, they can implement it. So many people had been killed. Not a single FIR has been lodged. Can't they put up the SIT and get it ensured that the justice is given? Again, the probe has to be ensured against these killings, why this happened, and they're roaming free. What they are trying to, they're trying to appease the people whom they are trying to appease. Maybe for for new coalition government. If they are very clean and they really mean about the humanity, they should come up very clearly and should forward and implement SIT committee over there.
How will you get rehabilitated is my question. Again, how will the rehabilitation take place?
So, it is the government of India because we are the victims of democide. Right, we are the victims of the democide because it was a black day when when this happened, state government and central government kept silent on it. They would have ensured the people can go to the state headquarters, could be rescued upon, but they were silent on it. Now, they can put us, the two types of, one is the physical rehabilitation, second is the economical rehabilitation. They have to come up with a plan very clearly. We have no problems to live in the clusters over there. We can go over there, let the government come up with the clusters. We are ready to, and same thing is acceptable to the people of Kashmir also.
So the Kashmiri Pandits are saying they're willing to go back. The Kashmiri Pandits are saying that we are willing to go and live in clusters in Kashmir and go back to our lives. Now the BJP government has to ensure their safety, their journey back and their financial viability, which means they'll need money to build their homes again, to build their lives again. The BJP government has to really be honest about whether it really is interested in rehabilitating the Kashmiri Pandits. This is Rohit Gandhi for Democracy News Live here in Delhi.